Here they come. That's right in the center. Another one. And another one. Look at that. A whole wave of them. The whole skyline's lit up.
One of the most strategically important areas in such a crisis would be the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway sits between Iran and Oman and serves as a critical route for global energy supplies. A large portion of the world's oil shipments passes through this channel every day. If tensions escalated there, global energy markets could react immediately. Oil prices could spike, shipping routes might be disrupted, and economic uncertainty could spread across. Because of this, any conflict involving Iran could quickly spread across multiple countries. International markets. Meanwhile, inside Iran, the domestic political situation would likely become a major factor in determining the country's response. A leadership transition could lead to different outcomes depending on who ultimately takes control. Some factions might prefer stability and continuity, attempting to maintain existing policies while consolidating power. Others might push for more aggressive strategies, especially if they believed external pressure threatened the country's sovereignty. In addition, the Iranian public itself could play a role. Iran has a large and politically active population, and throughout the country's modern history there have been periods of protests, reform movements, and political debate. A sudden leadership change could trigger demonstrations, calls for reform, or demands for political change. These internal dynamics would unfold while the international community closely watches the situation. Countries across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East would likely urge restraint from both Iran and the United States. Diplomatic channels would become extremely active as governments attempt to prevent misunderstandings or accidental escalation. Major powers such as Russia and China might also become involved diplomatically, given their economic and strategic relationships with Iran. For military analysts, one of the most significant questions would be whether tensions remained limited to political pressure and deterrence, or whether they escalated into open conflict. A full-scale war involving Iran would be extremely complex. Iran is geographically large, with mountainous terrain and a population of more than 80 million people. Its military doctrine emphasizes defense and regional deterrence rather than traditional large-scale invasions. Because of these factors, many experts believe that any direct military conflict would likely become prolonged and unpredictable. That is why most international observers hope such a scenario never occurs. Even during periods of intense rivalry, diplomatic channels often remain open behind the scenes. Quiet negotiations, back-channel communications, and international mediation have historically helped prevent crises from spiraling out of control. In the end, the stability of the Middle East depends heavily on avoiding miscalculations. Leadership changes, military alerts, and political tensions can all create moments of uncertainty. But history has shown that careful diplomacy and strategic restraint often play a critical role in preventing larger conflicts. For now, scenarios like this remain hypothetical, yet they highlight just how interconnected global politics has become, and how quickly events in one country can affect the entire world. Ali Khamenei has served as Iran's supreme leader since 1989. During that time, he has overseen Iran's political system, military strategy, and foreign policy. As the highest authority in the Islamic Republic, his role goes far beyond that of a typical head of state.